Yeah, man, global, worldwide. You already know Master B, Bobby Konders on the check-in. It's all about team focus. And I'm with my G, so focused. And we chilling, you know what I mean? We got that suburb life right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what it is, man. Team Focus Radio. I'm your host, So Focused. I got a special guest with me right now, man. My dude Bobby Konders in the building. What's good, man?
Everything's great.
So I'm happy to be here right now, man. How's everything? Oh, excuse me.
I'm out here, you know, kids are in school, doing what I'm doing.
Where everybody's doing things. So let's get straight into it. So where you from, man?
Well, I represent Brooklyn. I'm from a bunch of different places, but I kind of bust professionally more out of Brooklyn.
Definitely.
You know, with the reggae, mostly reggae and dancehall. You know, I produced other forms of music, but most streets know me from the early '90s as Massive B, Bobby Konders with Jabba, and then other people on the team, and they just, you know, from promoting parties to producing music to, you know, DJing and dances.
Definitely. Also, shout out to Brooklyn, New York, man. Especially East New York, Pink House Projects, man. That's where I'm from right there.
There it is.
Yeah, you know what it is. Represent BK. So I want to ask you, I know my experience because I'm originally from, but what is your experience growing up in New York?
Well, I lived a lot of different places. So at the beginning, like when I was younger, like when I was in New York, just trying to get in the game or whatever, it was hard. But when you're hungry and you're not sure where you're going to stay or live, you know, you're hungry. So you're just trying to get in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I got in the game. It's WBLS that put me on first.
Right.
Some people may not know WBLS. That was owned by the Sutton family. A gentleman by the name of Fred Buggs and BK Kirkland hired me in the music department to do mixes for them.
Right.
And this is before I started Massive B. So I was doing more American mixes. All right, this is in the like late 80s.
Right.
You know, once I got in the door, you know, like an intern for like a year, and got in the game. I just was hungry, and I just went in different directions from going into studios, learning. This is before CDs. This is when vinyl was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're talking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I just learned the game. I engineered for Fred Buggs, Frankie Crocker. I started doing mixes. Marley Marl was there, Juice Crew All Stars, Mr. Magic. Chuck Chillout was there for a brief moment. You know, you know, I was just a young dude in the game, just trying to build.
Definitely. At what point in your life did you say, I want to be a DJ?
Oh, that was probably when I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to say how far that was. Kind of ancient.
You know, like when I interview DJs, I always tell them, like, because I'm a radio personality, right? I'm not a DJ.
Well, see, let me tell you something. Back really in radio in the 80s,
Yeah.
the DJs, the cats that would mix,
Yeah.
they didn't really talk too much on the radio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think for DJs, like when it went to Kiss and BLS, I think Marley, Red Alert, Chuck Chillout kind of started that on the radio game.
Right.
Because then even before Mr. Magic came to BLS, he was on HBI in the early 80s. You know what I'm saying? And the world famous Supreme Team, and you had Special K and Teddy Ted as the Awesome Two. These are early hip hop before it went mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, but as like street DJs or whatever, I would have to say like maybe Chuck and Red were some of the first guys. Because the dance music mixers, they never really talked on the radio. And back in the 70s or 80s, you had a radio personality.
Correct.
But that changed kind of when hip hop really kicked off.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all of the DJs started talking because you got to promote yourself, I guess, you know. But I started in the game when you had that, hey, this is WBLS or the 107 for Chief Rocker Frankie Crocker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was, you know, super soul and super smooth and super slick. You know what I mean? You know, the pimping style. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I was just a DJ dude, and you know, just in the streets.
Definitely.
You know.
I know the beginning of time, like DJ, there was stuff like milk crates. He was moving around, real heavy.
Man, I used to have girls carrying my milk crates. Man. I was popping. No, but no, yeah, you're right. I mean, he'd have to go up. Man, we was on the subways with milk crates. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny. This, I've been through generations, and we still, I get booked out to play for young crowd and older crowd or whatever, and the game. You see the evolution.
Yeah.
I never really wanted to see the records leave, being that I have a record when I started Massive B in like 91,
Yeah.
92.
Yeah.
I had my Jamaican record label, and I never wanted to see the vinyl leave because I was producing music,
Mm-hmm.
and I found my niche. Whereas around the world, people were buying my records.
Correct.
I could have produced music, say, with a Burro Banton, a Sizzler, or Anthony B, a Elephant Man, whatever. And even if it didn't become a hit in New York or in Jamaica, there was people buying my records globally, and that's what I learned really more about marketing,
Right.
and because this is like the beginning, like learning about computers in the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, and so forth. But we had already, yeah, mid '90s, I guess mid '90s. But I'm still playing vinyl up until early 2000s. I was probably one of the last DJs in Brooklyn to play vinyl.
Mm.
Then because everybody was on CDs.
Right.
But when the vinyl was selling, it was good. I mean,
I just feel like technology kind of changed the way DJs move now.
I think technology, me being a DJ for close to 30 years, uh, I would say technology has made it easier. So therefore, uh, I would say like once because we used to have to dig into crates. I used to go to record shops and be in there for hours. Like I'm a vinyl junkie, digging, looking for that one record. Because even I was into break beats and getting into beats and producing and having, getting up with a programmer and have them loop up beats because we were doing remixes and so forth. Now you can just go online and it's just the work that we had to put in today's DJ. I'm not hating, today's DJ don't have to do it.
Right.
Because we would have to find that one record. You couldn't just go online and take it off of YouTube and convert it to an MP3.
Right.
If you knew to do, say you're in the reggae dance hall and you knew to do 45s, just came in from Jamaica, right? And you go to one Barry U on Church Avenue, they didn't have it. Superpower didn't have it. Maybe John Life or Whitty didn't have it on Utica Avenue. And then, but you make a call uptown. Moody's got that 45, Ray, they got the new thing. You're gonna shoot uptown to get it. You got to put work into getting vinyl. You know what I'm saying? To get the latest dancehall, even like this music.
Right.
Or who had the latest, the hip hop or whatever. You rock and soul, and so forth. So now, and I think with the you hustle a little money, you got your computer, you download some music or whatever, and I think there's more DJs now than ever, but that doesn't mean there's better DJs now.
Right.
And I don't mean to say that in a derogatory sense. It's just that the craft has just become oversaturated and it's easier to do. So therefore, this becomes maybe more of just a hobby or whatever, or something cats is going to try to do because the craft is not as difficult. You
Right.
don't have to put as much work in this to get music.
Right.
And that was the difficult part.
I had a conversation with a guy who used to DJ before. He actually quit. He told me back in the days he would make like $500, $600 before he DJed. He said now, people rather hire somebody that just take their phone, plug it in.
Well, I don't know, but I could dig it. You know what I'm saying? And I think with there's being so many DJs, the craft has been devalued.
Right.
So therefore, you got so many DJs, and then I'm gonna hire this guy because he's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If you want to drive a Bentley, you're gonna get a Bentley. If or whatever, want a quality of life, you're gonna try to buy a house or whatever, and live in a good neighborhood or whatever. And then, you want a cheap DJ, that's cool, but it may work for your party. So
Right.
you know what I mean? It's just really, it is what it. You gotta just fit in, get in where you fit in.
Yeah. So would you say that DJs make less now rather than before?
See, I don't know about the EDM world.
Right.
Because the money I hear Tiesto and these guys are getting, David Guetta and these guys, that's a whole different world.
Right.
So I'm not really in that world.
Right.
I'm in the streets, we in the hood, and we're playing reggae and dancehall. So I know, and just from a reggae dancehall perspective, I know globally the reggae dancehall crowds have gone down, therefore the money isn't what it used to be.
Mm.
And I think, part of that is like in 2018, the part of maybe with the reggae and dancehall slightly going down from a global scale is because Afrobeats has gotten bigger, EDM is very big, and soca has gotten more mainstream and global.
Right.
So with that being said, I think you know people around the world are gravitating to different forms of music.
Right. You also produce records for a lot of people too. Like, can you name some of those records you produce, like the big records?
Well, I did a house record back in 1990 where I sampled this poem by Mutabaruka, and it's a 12 inch. It's called Bobby Konders House Rhythms. A lot of people don't know that unless they're really into the house music thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it had also a track on there called Nervous Acid. That was like massive, crazy big. And after producing that and some other stuff for other labels, I just realized, well, how hard is this having a label? You must learn how to press up records,
Mm-hmm.
get a UPS account, and distribute. Hustle your things. And I started my label in like 91, 92, around there. And the first records I produced was with Ina Kamosi, Half Pint, and Nicodemus. Now these are foundation reggae artists. And I started pressing my records, putting them in the back of my Pathfinder. I'd go all around Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Harlem, putting them on in record shops, leaving them consignment, have a receipt book, Bray. And then I did it up until the other day. My records really stopped selling like 10 years ago. But, I got a lot of songs. Like from a hip hop, I had that produced that Mac Daddy song. I had, I started, there was a teenager I met through Chuck Chillop. His name was Salam Remy.
Yeah.
Salam was a beat maker. So me and Salam came together and we produced some stuff. And that's when we did Super Cat Get Her Red Hot and the Mac Daddy. And then I started doing this all my roots rock reggae stuff and dancehall stuff. And I did songs with Bounty Killer in 95 that did crazy good. It got heavy rotation and hot 97. And I remixed it with J. Rue the Damager.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of these songs were being voiced right in my building in Brooklyn. I was on St. James and DeKalb. I was 2 blocks from like Biggie, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was a block from LG.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then enough time we put the microphone in the kitchen and voiced the song.
Mm-hmm.
I had the 2-inch 24 track that you saw in that studio.
Mm-hmm.
Spin, everything was analog at that time. I had my mixer board and I voiced the artist in the kitchen, mixed the song down, or I'd go to Jamaica.
Mm.
Then, from everybody, Burro Banter, Nicodemus used to come by all the time in the 90s, Shinehead, Shabba, then 2000s, I used to be in Jamaica, so I was staying in Duane Park with Burro Banton's family in Kingston 20. And to this day, me and Burro, move we fam. And, then we had T.O.K. Galia Lead, which was a big song on the label. Richie Spice that you were talking about, You'd So Cold. A lot of big songs, Burro Banton, Better Than Them, and I could talk about my label forever. Chronics,
Yep.
I was producing his daddy, Chronicle. My God was a big song. Junior Reed, Bubblers, a lot, even Vibes Cartel, got songs with him, Ninja Man, everybody. Everybody I voiced, Beanie Man, Bounty, everybody I voiced on my labels. Some songs were real big where the mainstream might know them, and some were just big, like in certain countries around the world.
Let's talk about a little about Hot 97 because a lot of people that they kind of want to get on commercial radio, whether they DJs or personalities. So what was your process to end up working at Hot 97?
Well, I went there a long time ago, and it's true. I knew Funk Master Flex, and he kind of started Hot 97 in the early 90s. He contacted me and said, yo, I would like for you to come, because I was mixing for BLS at the time. I would like for you to come and start your own reggae show. And then I just said, okay. He said, we're doing this hip hop station over here, and it's going to take off. And I said, well, let's see, because BLS was doing, more the adult thing. And I went to Hot. And around that time, I had met Jabba. Jabba was a teenager. And, I slowly brought him in to be an integral part of the radio show because Master B sound, he was more the MC anyway in the dances.
Right.
So I wanted his voice to be heard. I wanted him to get the exposure and so forth. And obviously, here it is 25 years later. I mean, he's his own entity, his
Right.
own star, his own big promoter for Best of the Best, Love and Harmony Cruise, uh, acted, the million things. He's
Yeah.
got his own book. You know what I'm saying? He's his own star in his own right. And I'm happy for him.
So I had a question. There's multiple different kind of music, right? Why reggae music?
I just loved it. And I was already big as this Bobby Konders, Massive Sounds, the DJ or whatever. And I toured Europe, playing everything. Like I played at Ministry of Sound and some other big places in England and Scotland or whatever, Italy, and even Canada I used to go. But I just had just a passion and a love for reggae music from as a child, and I just wanted to try to have my own sound system and my own record label.
So if somebody who's underground artist, like how do they, like what would they do to get your attention?
Reggae?
You're at
Or
reggae
hip-hop?
wise. Well, either both. But then once you
I
play
mean,
the
if you're in the
record.
streets, you're gonna see me because I'm in the streets.
Right.
We used to put our own flyers out. We used to put our own posters up. I got locked up putting posters up. You know what I'm saying? Spending the weekend in jail or whatever. You putting on them posters up back in the day and banners and it's like today everybody just want to sit on their ass and press a button. You know what I'm saying? Like send an email out or whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. But sometimes you need to, I get a million phone calls because I'm accessible. Yo, I got a rap record. I want to get it to so and so. I said, well, go find out where the fuck he's DJing.
Yeah.
Go find out him and go lean on him. You
I
ain't
was
gotta
saying-
bat him up, but go lean on him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, make this man know you. If you want K Slay to play your record or Drewski or whatever, then make that man know you. Because I just tell him straight up, yo, son, just come holler at me at Fire Sundays in Brooklyn. I'm on Empire between Flatbush and Bedford every Sunday. As a matter of fact, every Sunday, Brooklyn, 103 Empire, Empire 103, Fire Sundays, the longest running parties, about 14 years now. Listen, ladies, you're free all night long. Got them $100 bottles, fellas free to midnight. And if you know anything about the loud, you know it's good. It's good in Fire Sundays. Master B in the building every Sunday, 14 years at least.
As I said, because I've been in a club with like DJ Self, and I seen like a whole bunch of rappers with thumb drives.
Well, that's what it is now. Yeah, but that's cool though because they know Self is that dude and he's helping bust them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Same as Funk Flex or whatever. They're gonna come. You gotta lean.
Yeah.
You can't just wait for somebody to do it.
Yeah.
You gotta lean and that you gotta put your grind on. And this because what I tell people, I produce music, so I have a understanding and I'm sympathetic to that
Right.
grind. You understand what I'm saying? Because here I'm trying to get some of my songs, or like I have a young Rasta artist out of Jamaica called Chopper Chop. He was on some of my other rhythms, but we put a song out the other day, I Feel So High. We did video in Jamaica. Ray, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta grind. You just gotta be politely rude. Like lean on the cat this so they gotta know you. You gotta be visible.
See, that's my thing. Is like I'm being in. I'll go say DJ Self because where I actually seen it. Like, how do you stand there? Because if you're getting so many thumb drives, like, how do you
I would
choose
just
which
tell
one?
cats, yo, fam, talk to me when I'm done DJing.
Oh, okay.
Simple. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to me when I'm done DJing or talk to me before I'm DJing. Because I tell a lot of cats hit me up in the hood. I say, yo, fam, we could even try to play your record in the first, because we do like 2 hip-hop rounds on Fire Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I said, just come early when we do the early hip-hop round because we could probably play your song then if it's a club song.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when the later hip-hop plays, that's just more the bombs. You know? But you got to grind. You know, I mean, I think in today's time, like, the perfect example for an artist to see how you can be successful without even radio is Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? When she was doing her first records, I didn't think she was the greatest rapper. But I liked her presence on social media. And I'm not the best at social media, but I got an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, and I try to stay relevant just to put my flyers up or promote what I'm releasing on my label, like the Chopper Chop and is the Rude Boy Skank Rhythm. Then I got Burrow Banton's Greatest Hits I just released. So you got to stay relevant and this be in the Kool-Aid. If you ain't got no social media presence, then this shit is free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got to figure it out. You got to somehow try to get in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. So what? And you have any crazy industry stories? You've been in the game for a long
Well, I
time.
tell
So.
you the truth, I never had no problems with no reggae, dancehall, soca artists or wherever on our show. Never. Nobody batted up nobody. Nobody came in, batted up security because they couldn't get in the building. Tell you the truth, this that our shows were legendary in the 90s, early 2000s because we had all of the artists coming. I used to just run the rhythm and you'd have Bounty Killer, Baby Shem, Elephant Man, or this one and that one in the studio. Super Cat in the studio DJing live while you're interviewing them and you're dropping the rhythm and just bringing the dancehall to the show. You know what I'm saying? But nothing. I ain't a dude that I don't tell people's business.
Definitely.
I'm not that dude.
So I understand it. So what advice would you give the people that's trying to get in your shoes?
Well, I'm not the afternoon personality. I never went that direction.
Right.
But I would try to get my social media presence up, and then I would really try a smaller market first. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, that generally you'd work in a smaller market and then try to build your profile up, and maybe they would come call you, or then you would just try to come home. If you're from, say you go to Virginia, you come back to New York and try to get in the mix. I mean, it's like there's so many, excuse me, there's so many different ways of personalities too. You got internet shows, you got satellite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for people that listen to that, there's just so many different angles. So I just think, if you are promoting yourself, and then if you're promoting parties, you're just getting that. You know what I mean? But if you're promoting parties and making a lot of money, you may not be trying to be on the radio in the afternoon.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? Because realistically, there's only like as a personality, what is there, like maybe 5 positions on one station? You have the morning show, the main dude or main girl, and 1 or 2 people.
I mean, group. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the 10 to 2, 2 to 6 or 7 or whatever it is. That's 2 people, and whatever staffs they got. But that's just the one person. You know what I'm saying? And then you got, say, the evening person, and then you might have the overnight or the quiet storm person or overnight or whatever. So how many there's like maybe 8 positions? You know what I'm saying? And that's not a lot of gigs. So a lot of times in life, it's just about being persistent and right place at the right time.
Kind of thing. But where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, my daughter's finishing college this year. My son will be in about 5 years, 9th grade. So he's in 4th, going to 4th. I mean, probably still doing what I'm doing. I mean, I got some little off the air businesses, but I don't really go public with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But probably still producing, because I'm still trying to better myself in the digital world, because I didn't grow with computers.
Right.
So I'm still trying to better myself and learn it. Because say someone like me, it's easy to get frustrated because I didn't grow with this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to learn it, but hopefully it's still producing. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? I tour Europe, I tour the world, usually once a year. Japan we hit. Really just try to stay relevant and keep DJing for the people.
Definitely.
And you can always check masterb.com to see what's going on. I'm really just trying to get my record label up to the time with the whole digital world.
Definitely. So for the people out there, how can I get in contact with you on social media?
This is Bobby Konders with a K, Konders. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then masterb.com, masterbstore.com. You want these fly ass hats? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, buy me one of those, man.
Yeah, basically that's it. I mean, shit, they could text me 917-674-6232. You know what I mean? We do block parties, son. We string up sound or whatever. Ready for the work.
You definitely hit me up at Team Focus Radio, man. That's my movement. Hit me up at ASO Focus of Life. It's SOFOCUSEDINLAFE. That's ASO Focus of Life. Is there anything you want people to know about you before we get out of here?
I think you should tell people that's slower.
Well, no, we gonna put this on the screen. That's what we're gonna put it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's bottom of the screen and make sure we say it.
My
But so be
thing
good.
is, man, yo, you gotta just go out there and do what's right for you and try to live good in the streets. And that's one thing I would tell people: live clean with people, live good, walk with love in your heart, and don't disrespect people. Because if you live clean and you respect the business and the game and the people that are hiring you as a DJ, it's gonna give you longevity. I feel so, and I've been in the game a long time. I don't, if a promoter say, "Yo, Bobby, I need you there for midnight," I try to be there for midnight. I don't come at 2 o'clock. So respect the game and just respect people in the streets. That's just the overall message, and have love for yourself and love for there's love in the streets.
Yeah, but one more thing I was gonna say before we get out of here too is because, like, I've been semi in the industry and I've been able to meet a whole bunch of people, but I ain't gonna lie, I go through those frustrations when I meet people and kind of like they lie, and these people lie a lot. Like, I call it industry talk. So they'll be like, "Yo,
Well,
man,
most people are, but you can't, you can't let them frustrate you from living a clean path.
right,
You know what I'm saying? There's promoters that call me that booked me already, and they've been telling me for a week they're gonna send me a deposit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't put all of my eggs for them. You understand what I'm saying?
right,
It is what it is. I just have my standards that I'm gonna live by, and I'm not gonna let certain people dictate and change my standards. But if just like I said, if I give a person a date and they keep telling me boom, 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 it's bullshit. So you just say, if somebody else holler for the date, you just take it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
definitely,
cats are gonna, we live in a time where cats want to drive through and get it, like McDonald's, and maybe they don't want to put the work in, because that's a lot of today's generation, right? You have to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? But you can still have principle,
right,
and just know that a lot of people may tell you what you want to hear because they're yes men, and not everybody's a leader. You understand what I'm saying? You have to just differentiate. Sometimes you have to learn to accept them for who they are. You know what I'm saying? So if someone's just giving you the gas, then just know what it is. You can't try not to get frustrated or whatever, because you don't want to because that next things can get ugly. You know what I'm saying? Just know what it is with that person and learn from that.
definitely.
That's what I had to really learn to do, because I realized so many cats are full of shit.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So many cats is just talking pure fuckery, and it's just like, yo, you just know that though. You know that about that person. Just accept them for who they are,
yeah,
and you
but
won't be stressed.
I ain't gonna lie, it is kind of hard to figure out, who's who sometimes. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like I have somebody, I'm not gonna say the person's name, 'cause I don't got a problem with the person, but they's like, "Yo, I see your interviews, you doing your thing. Yo, here's my contact. I'm gonna get you A, B, C." I'm like, "Yo, I'm all hype about it. 1 week turns to two, two turns to three, three turns to four."
Do
But,
it the way you do it, son.
right,
You grinding it, son. You know what I'm saying? And the true the fact you say you was in college, or you was a college thing, or whatever. I just said I want to, and you was tracking me. You know what I'm saying? And I just said, because to me, I don't like to really be locked in on anything,
right,
because I want to have access to do what I want to do. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I just love this, handling my own business and dealing with my kids.
yeah,
But you just grind it, man. You know what I'm saying? DM cats or whatever. It's a grind. It's pain. Believe me. I just from back in the day, me trying to voice artists,
yeah,
and get them on my rhythm. And certain artists say, "Yeah, man, I'll come to the studio. Man, I'll come to the studio. I'm there for the whole week." That artist never comes.
yeah,
I would be voicing other people, so I wouldn't just be waiting on that one artist.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've had hit records where the one artist never came, but the next one did, and they sung the song, and we got the hit. So it is what I ain't tripping.
I just respect the hustle. Like me, like it came here like what 4 hours to come here, but I don't get frustrated at that. I like doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, if this is your passion and your love, then just keep doing it, son. You never know where it could take you. You might have the next talk show, fuck
Yeah.
radio. You might be the next cat on TV.
Yeah,
I just said the next Larry King, doing and interviewing cats that you want to interview.
yeah. I believe you too.
And why not? Why can't it?
Yeah.
It's up to you to grind it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because if I'd have told cats in '86, this is what I'm going to do and this is where I'm going to take it, they come on. Nobody. A lot of times, because they can't even try to follow their dreams, they're not going to be able to support yours.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
And you can't. Sometimes the system done beat people down so bad that you just have to, like I said, accept them for
Definitely,
you
man.
know, who they are, and just you know what I mean, and just keep step. You know, you got to keep pushing.
Definitely, definitely. So we're gonna rock it out like this, man. Team Focus Radio. I'm your host, So Focused, man. Got the homie Bobby Konders in the building, man. Thank you for letting me come here, man. I appreciate it,
No,
cause
it's all good, fam.
it's a long job. I'm happy, man. I like doing stuff like this, you know, rock it
No,
like
you
that.
good.
But Team Focus Radio, man. Be out of here.